Let's be honest, failure hurts. Even the small ones. Missing a goal you were sure you'd hit, getting rejected after putting your heart into something, making a mistake at work that you can't stop thinking about. They sting, they linger, they whisper that maybe you're not good enough. But what if I told you those tiny failures you're trying so hard to avoid are actually your greatest teachers? Because growth doesn't come from perfection. It comes from practice, from trying, adjusting, and trying again. Every stumble, every wrong turn, every awkward attempt, they're not signs of weakness, they're signs of progress. The truth is, success isn't built overnight. It's built through hundreds of micro-failures, small, manageable mistakes that slowly shape who you're becoming. So instead of fearing them, what if you could use them? What if every small failure became one step closer to strength, confidence, and mastery? Micro-failures aren't setbacks. They're stepping stones toward growth. If you're someone who's ready to turn small setbacks into daily breakthroughs, you're in the right place. Consider subscribing. This channel is all about becoming your strongest, most focused self. The fear of failure. We live in a world obsessed with winning. Top grades, dream jobs, perfect relationships, flawless results. From the time we're kids, we're taught that success equals worth and failure equals shame. So we start hiding our mistakes. We play it safe. We hesitate. We procrastinate. Because deep down, we're not really afraid of failing. We're afraid of what failure says about us. We fear being seen as weak. We fear losing respect. We fear proving our own doubts right. But here's the truth. Everyone fails. Even the people you look up to, the ones who seem unstoppable. They just learned how to fail forward. I still remember the first time I completely bombed a presentation. My voice trembled, my slides froze, and my mind went blank. I wanted to vanish. For days, I replayed that moment, convinced I wasn't good enough. But looking back, that awkward, embarrassing moment taught me more about preparation, courage, and resilience than any success ever did. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. And when you shrink failure down into micro-failures, something magical happens. Takeaway 1. Failure isn't a wall, it's a mirror. Every micro-failure reflects a lesson you can use tomorrow. What are micro-failures? So what exactly is a micro-failure? Think of it as a small, controlled mistake, a test, an experiment, a brief stumble you can recover from quickly. It's missing one workout, writing a messy first draft, or posting a video that gets barely any views. They're not disasters, they're data points. Each one gives you feedback, direction, and a chance to grow stronger next time. Micro-failures are like mental push-ups, uncomfortable at first, but essential for strength. Imagine a child learning to walk. They fall dozens of times before taking their first confident step. Each fall isn't a failure, it's a lesson. Every slip teaches balance. Every bruise teaches resilience. Every micro-failure teaches progress. And that's exactly how adults learn too, through small, recoverable mistakes that build real confidence. Psychologists call this error-based learning, the process of improving your skills through tiny, manageable errors. Research shows that our brains actually form stronger neural pathways when we learn from minor mistakes than when we get things right immediately. Takeaway 2. Micro-failures are how your brain, body, and mindset adapt. They're training reps for success. The daily power of small losses. Think about this. The world's most successful people fail more often than anyone else. Not because they're careless, but because they're curious. They test, they tweak, they try again. They understand something most people don't, that every small loss carries a hidden lesson. Each misstep refines the next move. Each attempt sharpens the next idea. Thomas Edison once said, "I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work." He didn't see failure as defeat. He saw it as discovery. Top athletes don't fear losing. They study every missed shot, every slow lap, every slip-up. They turn mistakes into data, refining their focus, discipline, and timing. Entrepreneurs do the same. The most successful ones launch ideas that flop, sometimes publicly, before one finally flies. Each failure is a test. Each test brings clarity. So instead of running from failure, what if you could make it your ally? What if every mistake became fuel for growth? Takeaway 3, your goal isn't to avoid mistakes, it's to make smarter ones, faster, and learn with intention. The psychology of microfailures. Here's the science behind it. Every time you experience a small failure and take a moment to reflect on it, your brain actually releases dopamine, the same chemical linked to motivation and reward. And here's the interesting part. This release doesn't just happen when you succeed, it happens when you learn something new. That's your brain saying, you're growing. Keep going. Your mind isn't wired to reward perfection, it's wired to reward progress. Think of microfailures as a natural feedback system. Each attempt gives you valuable information, what worked, what didn't, and how to adjust. Over time, these small reflections build emotional resilience. Your tolerance for failure increases, your confidence grows, and your personal growth begins to accelerate. It's just like training a muscle. You don't get stronger by lifting the same light weight every day. You grow by pushing slightly past your comfort zone, failing, recovering, adapting. That's how true strength is built, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Takeaway 4, the more you embrace micro failures, the faster you train your brain for confidence, resilience, and mastery. Why we resist small failures. If micro failures are so powerful, why do we resist them? Because our ego hates imperfection. We've been conditioned to believe that success defines our value, that our worth depends on results, not effort. From school grades to job performance, everything around us has taught us to measure progress by outcomes. So when we stumble, even just a little, it feels like proof that we're not enough. But that's not true. Failing, even in small ways, doesn't mean you're falling behind. It means you're in motion, you're testing, you're learning. You're becoming more aware of what works and what doesn't. Standing still might feel safe, but it also keeps you stuck. Growth only begins when you start moving, even if that movement includes small mistakes along the way. Research on what psychologists call the growth mindset shows that people who see challenges as opportunities to learn consistently outperform those who avoid mistakes altogether. Takeaway 5. Avoiding failure keeps you fragile. Facing micro failures builds your inner strength. How to practice micro failure daily. Here's how to start using micro failures in your daily life. Step 1. Redefine failure. Every mistake you make isn't proof of weakness. It's proof that you're trying something new. Shift your perspective from I failed to I experimented. That single change rewires how your brain sees progress. Step 2. Start small. Set micro goals that are almost impossible to avoid. Instead of saying, I'll get fit, start with 5 push-ups today. Instead of I'll write a book, aim for 200 words before bed. Small actions build consistency, and consistency builds confidence. Step 3. Reflect daily. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I learn from what didn't work? That one question transforms mistakes into lessons and lessons into momentum. Step 4. Reward effort, not outcome. Celebrate showing up, celebrate experimenting, celebrate improving, even by just 1%. Takeaway 6. Daily micro failures lead to micro improvements. And over time, those small shifts create massive, lasting change. There was a young artist who posted sketches online every single day. At first, no one noticed, no comments, no followers, just silence. Each post felt like a small failure, a whisper into the void. But instead of quitting, they got curious. They studied what didn't work, refined their style, and kept showing up. One drawing turned into 10, 10 turned into 100. Months passed. Still no spotlight, but visible progress. Each micro failure became a lesson in lighting, color, storytelling, and patience. Then one day, a single post went viral. But that success wasn't born overnight. It was built through 1,000 quiet attempts that no one saw. Because real growth doesn't happen in applause, it happens in persistence. That's the true power of micro failures. They don't break you, they build you. Takeaway 7. Every big success is built on small, invisible failures. The ones no one notices but you. And that's what makes them powerful. From fear to freedom. When you stop fearing failure, you start freeing yourself. You stop living for perfection and start living for progress. Every day becomes an experiment, a chance to test, to learn, to grow. Every mistake becomes a map, pointing you toward what works and what doesn't. Every micro-failure becomes evidence that you're still in motion, still alive, still evolving. And slowly, fear fades. You begin to realize that failure was never your enemy. It was your greatest teacher, showing you the path to mastery one imperfect step at a time. Picture yourself 1 year from now, standing taller, thinking clearer, feeling lighter. Not because everything went right, but because you had the courage to keep going when it didn't. Because you turned fear into feedback, doubt into direction, and failure into freedom. Final takeaway. Your success story isn't written by your wins. It's shaped by the small failures you learn from every single day. That's not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your growth. If today's message helped you see failure in a new light, don't keep it to yourself. Someone out there is quietly struggling, thinking they're the only one falling short. Share this video with them. Let them know that every stumble, every setback is a step forward in disguise. And if you're ready to grow a little stronger every day, to learn through effort instead of fear, hit that subscribe button. Because here we turn micro failures into momentum and small daily lessons into lifelong progress. This isn't just a channel, it's a community of people who believe that progress is built, not gifted. One honest attempt, one small step, one brave restart at a time. Remember, progress isn't perfect, it's practiced. So keep practicing,